Hello class, this is a video tutorial on trigonometry and angles of any magnitude. In this video we'll be looking at boundary angles. To determine the trig ratios of angles on the boundaries, the boundary angles, by the way, are referring to angles of, here, let me demonstrate it here. So here's our initial, 0 degrees, 90 degrees, 180 degrees, 270 degrees, and 360 degrees. To understand these, we apply our understanding of trigonometry to the unit circle. Okay, so let's get straight to it. Let's take a look at sine, cos, and tan of 0 degrees. So here is 0 degrees. It goes from the center to the edge with an angle of 0. Now it may not look like it, but there's actually a triangle being drawn here. Okay, well, the triangle, let's get one that's even smaller. There's a triangle like this. But if you make it smaller and smaller, there's a triangle that is tiny along here. I hope it makes sense when we put a triangle that is just straight, such as this. Now, because we know that sine refers to the y value at that angle, what is the y value at this point here? Well, normally, if we had, let's say, an angle like this, we take the y value of that coordinate. But because we have an angle of 0 degrees, the y value of that angle is actually 0. So sine of 0 degrees is 0. Cosine, let me demonstrate it again. Going back to our original understanding, if we have any angle, cosine of that angle refers to the x value at that point. If we apply it to this angle, the x value is, well, 1. So cosine of 0 is 1. Tan of 0, well, that's going to be y over x, in which case it will be 0 over 1, which is just 0. So this is equal to 0. Let's apply the same logic to sine, cos, and tan of 90 degrees. Whoops. So let's make our initial angle. Here we go. And 90 degrees goes all the way up until it's straight up like this. And then from here we can determine what sine, cos, and tan are. Sine of 90. Now remember, sine takes the y value at the point that it ends, and in which case the y value is 1. So sine of 90 is 1. Cosine of 90, well, if you take a look, there is no x value because it's straight up from the origin. So cosine of 90 degrees, is 0. Tan of 90, well, that's going to be y over x, in which case it's going to be 1 over 0, which is, well, 1 divided by 0. If you research it mathematically, this is undefined. There is no answer. Let's keep going with this understanding. Sine of 180. Well, here's sine 0. That there is 90 degrees. And then 180 degrees. Now at this point, the y value is 0. So sine of 180 is 0. Cosine of 180, well, that's -1. Tan of 180, that's y over x, so 0 divided by -1. Oops, 0 divided by -1, that's just 0. Let's take a look now for 270 degrees. That's 0 degrees. 90 degrees, that's going to be 180 degrees, and 270. At sine 270, the y value is -1, so sine of 270 is -1. Cos of 270, well, that's just 0. Tan of 270, that's -1 divided by 0, which once again, anything divided by 0 is undefined. So I'm just going to copy this one. And lastly, we have 360 degrees. So here's 0 degrees, 90 degrees, 180 degrees, 270 degrees, 360 degrees. Well, if we go all the way around, well, doesn't that look as if we stayed exactly where we are? In actual fact, well, 360 degrees going around like this is the same as if we did from 0 degrees. So in actual fact, 360 will give the exact same values as 0 degrees. So sine of 360 is 0. Cos of 360 is 1. Tan of 360 is also 0. So I hope that gave you an insight into the angles of any magnitude of boundary angles. So the main thing that you should be able to either memorize or figure out the values of are these boundary angles that I've demonstrated here. Hope to see you in the next video. Best of luck.